Back for all of Bell County until 7:30 tonight. We have thunderstorm warnings in effect not only for Bell County but for McLennan County and Limestone County and Freestone County as well. There's just a multi-cell complex of storms sitting right here on Central Texas. If you're just tuning in, we've had video confirmation of tornadoes across southwestern Bell County that were heading towards Salado. We've had no reports of any tornadic damage in Salado, but out to the west there certainly was. And we continue to look at very heavy rains falling. This is a live look from downtown Temple. The Kyle Hotel would be right back off here. And you're looking towards the southwest, very heavy rains continuing to fall. That would be in the direction of Little River Academy. And there seems to be no end to the rain and winds that are going on across Central Texas.
Look at that picture. Time. Look at that picture.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at the hail. You know, I just got a report from Matt McCrae over in Little River. He said heavy winds and hail in Little River. If there is rotation, it would be just north of Little River. Yeah, that's a heck of a hail core there.
We have photographs of hail. Do we know where it's from? Bell County area. Okay.
My goodness.
A comparison of hail to a baseball.
I think it's bigger.
Yeah, that's hail larger than a baseball easily. Yeah, we'll take the next one. We got another tornado. More hail. Oh man.
That's 4 or 5 inches. That's 4 inches of hail.
Yeah, easily 4 inches.
Yeah.
Wow. Plus several more baseball-sized hailstone. Dennis Quisenberry sent this photograph in. That's amazing, man.
Do you know where this was taken? What part of Bell County? Okay.
Wow. That'd do some damage right there. All right, we're looking at the radar again. To reiterate, we have very heavy rain falling across southern Bell County through the central portions of the area. Just to the north of Temple is where the heaviest is. And the pink would be indicative of extremely heavy rain or hail or both showing up. A little break in some of the heavier rain across downtown and the southern portions of Temple there. But the whole area of rain stretches basically from east to west across Bell County. So heavy rains have been falling. We have a flood warning in effect, which means your urban flooding is going to be occurring because the rain's coming down faster than the drainage systems can handle it. You're going to have some small streams that are going to be filling up. Your bar ditches are going to be filling up with water, not able to drain fast enough. So be mindful if you see water across the road, don't even tempt it. Don't try it. Turn around, don't drown. Other than messing up your brakes, you could certainly run into even bigger problems. Here's some of the reports of hail that we're getting from downtown Temple. Hail to an inch and better in size being reported across the area inside the HK Dodge and Loop, it looks like.
This is that radar indicated algorithm that's we're dropping some numbers on it just to give you a few references. But if you pull it back out and to take that off, put the reflectivity on it, there's a huge hail core across the northwest side of Temple out where all those warehouses are out towards the airport. You can see that hail core.
There you go.
Right
Here's what
he's
talking about right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right by the Buc-ee's as well, just to the west of Interstate 35 right there.
Here.
Around the
right
Belco area, yeah. So just west of Buc-ee's, just to the south of Moores Mill Road, Lucius McKelvey Drive, Center Street, and areas just to the north and west of 35 near that curve that passes right to where it would turn into Industrial Boulevard and 3rd Street, that particular exit right about there.
This is the industrial part of Temple here. There's Industrial Boulevard. Wilson Arts back here. McLean campus is back a little further towards the west from there. Your hail stretches all the way back over to the north side of Temple, all the way up almost to Troy, because there's Bottoms East Road, and that's the south side of Troy. So you've got a very large area of very heavy rains and or hail falling across the central portions of Bell County right now as this weather event continues. Again, we are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock tonight, or excuse me, a tornado watch until 11 o'clock tonight. We're under thunderstorm warning right now until 7:15. Has that been extended?
We do not see anything extended right now. We don't have anything at this particular point. Any updates in terms of that?
Rob, our director, would you flip over to the Max 1? I just want folks to see the various cells that are continuing to roll across Bell County here. This is an animated loop over the last hour of the thunderstorm activity that is stuck here across Bell County. From east to west, you're looking at 3 separate very large cells, each one producing hail at one time or another. Storms that have had a history of producing tornadic activity to the south and west of Salado, coming very close to Salado with tornadic winds, and very large hail making their way across the I-35 corridor into Salado. And now still looking at some more.
Salado, yes.
Okay, yeah, let's take a look at that. We have a Salado tornado video from about an hour ago showing up, and this is looking from Salado and probably on the west side of the interstate, looking towards the west, out in the general direction of the chalk dig out to the west there, where the archaeology digs are going on. Very well-defined funnel touching down to the ground there. This is from an hour ago. Let me be sure you understand. This is not live. This is a video that we had from about an hour ago of that tornado out to the west of Salado. You can't really see it here, but on the back side, there's a very well-defined hail core producing marble-sized to golf ball-sized hail at that point, and the hail just kept getting bigger and bigger as the storm came further towards the east. Matthew Ryan May, the videographer that sent us that. How does the hail get quite that big? You've got updrafts and downdrafts inside these thunderstorms. That's what keeps the storm going. And as these water droplets in the upper elevation of the cloud freeze and get heavy, they start falling down with those downdrafts. Well, the updrafts then catch them and haul them back up into the upper levels of that cloud, where they pick up more moisture, and that moisture refreezes. They begin to fall because they're too heavy. They drop back down, pick up more moisture. The updrafts pick them up and haul them back up high into the top of the cloud, where they refreeze. So that's how you can get a hailstone 4 inches in diameter, the size of softballs. And that's what's been going on in various locations across Bell County this evening, and across much of central Texas as well. And it is continuing now. It seems to have weakened a little bit. We were under tornado warning earlier. The intensity, yes, has dropped some, but not by a whole lot. We're still looking at very severe weather conditions across central Texas. Hail producers, very strong damaging winds in place, as you've seen. If you've been with us, you've seen some of the video of the wind damage that's been reported across the area, particularly around Stillhouse Hollow and south of Stillhouse on down towards Salado and the southern boundaries of Bell County. Some very heavy wind damage, hail, and very heavy rains as well, in addition to very likely many of these areas being affected by tornadoes on the ground out there in this area, the area where we were watching the tornadoes in Bell County earlier, about an hour and a half or so ago. Still got hail ongoing as it makes its way up towards Highway 190, Interstate 14 in this area. So if you are belted to Harker Heights, Nolanville, in that area particularly, you're getting some very heavy rains, and maybe dodging the bullet on some of that hail, but it looks like you're probably getting a lot of it here as you get closer to the Expo Center area. It continues drifting back towards the north at around 35 to 40 miles an hour, but there is regeneration of these storms going on across Bell County, and it's just going to continue to be a very stormy evening for us. Again, we're now looking at just after 7 o'clock. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Bell County until 7:30 this evening for the storms that are in progress, and continuing to spawn new storms across the area. So far, we've watched these storms try to develop some circulation after the tornadic activity that we were watching earlier, but nothing has gelled to become a very serious storm. Got close on the south side of the Temple here about 30 minutes ago, but the rotation just was too broad. Now we're looking at the velocity, and the velocity again tells us where the strong winds are converging and where we're seeing inbound and outbound winds rolling in. This is usually the center of rotation, or at least the beginnings, the genesis of rotation. And that shows up on the east side of Temple, south of the hospital district, and on down towards Academy there. As we get a little further to the north, the rotation becomes more and more diffuse, less confined to a circular pattern. So some very heavy rains. Still looking at very strong winds across much of Temple. This is downtown Temple street level for you, where we're looking at moderate to heavy rains continuing, and even some small hail still showing up. And there's some pea-sized hail being reported from Highway 190, Interstate 14, all the way back over towards Temple across the region right now. Jordan.
Yes, we do have a hail report out of, I believe it is just a mile west-northwest of Salado. The hail diameter, 5.5 inches. Again, that is 5.5 inches in diameter. That is larger than grapefruit size. It was measured 5.5 inches. It was time estimated via radar at around 6 o'clock Central Time. So again, yeah, we have more pictures of hail, by the way. There it is.
Hey,
That's
Andy?
from Quisenberry.
Look at this right over, heading right into town. Look at this again. It's rotating right there. See it
Yeah,
circulating?
seeing it.
There's another circulation trying to come in right here to
That's
Temple.
south of Temple.
We got
Yeah,
a
look
bunch
at
of
it.
pulls.
Near
It's
Little
trying.
River Academy.
Yes, we have
It's
another.
coming. Looks like it's going to spin right into town.
Yeah, we have another
Just a
area
strong-
of rotation. Could you pull up Max 2 again? Yeah, it's right on
Back
top
out
of Temple College right now. That's where that is. That's near, just to the north and east of Marlonwood Road, Azalea Drive. That's
go.
near, just to the east of the Temple Mall, near the Texas A&M School of Medicine.
This is Temple Community College here.
Yes.
And this is where we're seeing the rotation, which is just about where the divided highway of HK Dodge comes to an end, out close to Tractor Supply in that area. It's very loose rotation, but rotation nonetheless showing up out there. So we need to be very careful on the east side of Temple as this weather, this bumpy road has not come to an end just yet for us. Heavy rains continue across the area. We're getting many reports of hail throughout the afternoon and the evening. Still getting very likely at least nickel-sized hail in some of this stuff that we're seeing on the south side of Temple, with no doubt. Can we put this into motion?
Yeah, I'll put it
Pull
in
out a
motion
little
for
bit.
you. It's going to be, I'm going to slow this down a little bit. I'm going to slow it down here to the last 15 minutes and get it slowed down for you guys.
Okay.
Here you go.
Thank you.
You want me to zoom it out for you?
Please.
All right,
Thank
you got it.
There you go. Yeah, a little too pixelated when we're in that close on it. So we got action going on out on the extreme southeast side of Temple now, where Highway 95 comes rolling in from Heidenhammer to Temple Community College there, area that's getting the rotation going on. We're getting some hail, some very heavy rains as well. On top of poor drainage right now, we've had so much rain that we're experiencing some flooding problems across the area. This is all well east of I-35, back towards the HK Dodge and Loop, East Loop in Temple.
Report from Zach Shoemaker reporting golf ball size hail 3 miles east of Temple right now.
Golf ball
size hail.
And that storm.
Yeah, the Weather Service he's just reported that into the Weather Service, part of the spotter network.
Are they saying anything about the rotation we're seeing here in Bell County?
No, not yet. I mean, they're watching it, but spotter 3 miles east of Temple getting 1.75, which is golf ball size hail right now on the east side of town. It sounds like we're starting to maybe get a little hail mixed in with the heavy rain here in downtown, but it's just raining. What's a good acronym? A toad strangler, or there's a few other words I'm sure we got going on with this one. It's just coming down. So how long does that flash flood warning continue for? Do you have that?
Let me scroll up for you guys.
Yeah.
The flash flood warning, that is until 9:45.
Till 9:45 this evening.
9:45 p.m.
So we got another 2.5
Couple hours,
hours,
yes.
and the flash flood warning. You know, this rocky, hilly country, the water starts running fast, and you know we
Yes.
hadn't had a lot of rain lately, but it doesn't take that much. So this rain probably several inches per hour. So the National Weather Service has also put Bell County under a flash flood warning until 9:45. So we're under a severe thunderstorm warning till 7:30. We're under a tornado watch till 11, and a flash flood warning until 9:45. You know, the only other thing we don't have is a tornado warning, and we're not under one yet, but we still have broad rotation over Temple, and that's what's creating all the hail. And
as far as the flooding is concerned, we have been so dry for so long, the ground has just been drinking up a lot of it. As you said, very rocky soil, and most of that is all to the west of I-35, but west of the Balcones Fault, east of the interstate. You're in a good old black gumbo, black soil farmland, and that'll soak it up pretty good. But now we're starting to see it come down so much that the bar ditches are filling up and starting to get some water over low water crossings, and in many cases it's coming down faster than the drainage systems can handle any of it.
the largest hail indicated by radar is right at the intersection of the expressway and I-35 heading towards out towards Nolanville. That's where the radar now showing just a really interesting reflectivity of hail. So it's just, that's coming right into Belton right now. So there's a lot more heavy weather coming into Belton and eventually into Temple. I mean, it's not over yet. It seems like it just keeps regenerating right over us. You know, I would have thought this would have moved off of us by now, but it's just sitting over Bell County and regenerating.
And the dry line is just sitting here right up and down the I-35 corridor, and it's like that's as far as it has been able to push.
I wrote it all in teens. Yeah.
Very heavy rain.
See that hail core that's developing, Andy, right over the intersection of the expressway and 35.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if people are driving in that tonight, they're gonna receive a lot of damage. It looks like.
Just a good night to stay home tonight. Don't be out driving around. And this, we have flash flood warnings in effect. We have hail-producing thunderstorms, a lot of lightning, and very strong winds causing damage as well. You may not see what's laying in the road that could puncture your tires, so you could be running into all kinds of damage tonight across central Texas. Here's the latest tight look at our reflectivity, which is gives us an idea of how hard the rain is coming down and if there's any hail embedded in it. Let's pull out.
Bruce, I said pull that out.
Okay. Let me do it.
He's got it. He's got it.
Too many mouses.
Yeah.
Too many systems here. I was thinking it was on Jordy's machine here. It's on mine. All right. South of us, man, the weather's fine.
I mean, we're at tail end Charlie here today.
Yeah. Georgetown southward, it's great looking. It's a better looking story across Bosque County and into Hill County. They're still looking at rain there, but we still have a pretty good set of storms blowing over towards I-45 there across Freestone County, curving back down into Falls County as well. Very heavy rains beginning to taper off a little bit. This is what I'm talking about here, is this line of showers stretches all the way back up towards Canton and Kaufman, comes southward all the way down to Mejia, almost to Marlin, where they've been getting some very heavy rains as well. And then we've got this conglomeration, this cluster of storms sitting over Bell County that just does not want to go away. I mean, look at this stuff, just continues to roll around and try to get a little circulation going, and then it fails, and then it starts to regenerate again, producing hail and very heavy rains the whole time it's doing all that, and it's just not going anywhere. Again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 7:45 now. That's been extended for Bell County for that storm and for portions of Coryell County as well. We're seeing storms right along the county line from near Coppers Cove, right up the county line, all the way up towards Oglebay. Moderate to very heavy rains and flooding still going on there, and possibly even some hail producers. But look at this, out here, extreme left side of your screen. That's the end of the cloud cover. That's where the dry line has finally pushed all the moisture towards the east. A little bit of regeneration going on out here between Goldthwaite and Evant, and then back over towards Gatesville. But these are some tiny little showers that are going on there. But nonetheless, they're feeding into this same stuff. Watch this. Look at that. That little guy there rolls right in there and gets sucked into that same major complex of storms south of Killeen. And that whole area just continues to regenerate. It's not going anywhere, at least not for the time being. How about rainfall rates? What are we seeing rainfall-wise?
Rainfall rates? All right, we'll see if I can pull that reflectivity up real quick for you one more time. But what we are seeing on Max 2 is starting to see what could be some areas of rotation. We're going to pull up the velocity real quick because that's definitely what looks like some rotation just to the south of Nolanville there, just to the east of 195 once again. And so just probably south of Parker Heights, really. But
Yeah, we're looking at the same thing over here on this one. That south portion of Fort Hood,
yes.
south of Highway 190, south of Parker Heights, maybe to the west of Stillhouse a little bit.
Yeah, it's looking like it's moving kind of in a northeasterly direction. So I think Belton might see this depending on how it goes, and maybe even the south side of Temple within the next 30 or so minutes, depending on how this system moves, or about 15 or so minutes. But what I am also seeing, and we're going to pull this reflectivity back up, is I just saw it a little bit ago, but it was a hail core. There it is in Belton as we zoom in, downtown Belton, near UMHB. That's where we're seeing it. It's just to the south of Converse Reed. Yep, right there on the campus of the University of Mary Hardin Baylor. There's right there along 317 through downtown Belton, all the way to where 14 and 35 and 317 all meet. So that's a very wide hail core, and it's lengthy. It's stretching all the way out to Central Texas Christian School, and it's stretching all the way back past Sparta Road. So this is quite a bit of coverage that it's dealing with as well. It's passing right there. First Baptist Church in Belton is right about here. If I could point it, if I could see if I can get a swiggly line to kind of point it. First Baptist in Belton, right there where 6th Street and near where 6th Street and 317 meet. But also we have some other areas too, like downtown Belton. This is probably, actually, this might be actually Central Avenue. Yeah, this is Central Avenue, downtown Belton, near the Bell County Courthouse. So, yeah, quite a bit of a hail core there. There was a little bit more vast a little bit ago, but we're starting to see that rotation a little bit off to the west. This shows a little bit of a hook just to the west of the Nolanville area. But as we take a look, let's see if we can pull that velocity up once again, because this is definitely something to pay attention to right here. There it is. Okay. South of Nolanville, you're saying?
Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, just to the south of Nolanville. There it is.
You're getting that second couplet there.
Yeah, getting a bit of a couple.
That's what we were looking at over here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very concerning again. Another strong rotation is forming on the south side of the expressway, moving, looks like right towards Harker Heights, or maybe just on the south side of Harker Heights and Nolanville, and then moving again towards the east-northeast. But this is what we watched for a forming tornado, and this one's a lot stronger than the one we saw a moment ago over Temple. This one's actually starting to show some dropout gates in it, which are concerning that wind is really picking up. So as this tightens up, I wouldn't be surprised if the Weather Service does drop a tornado warning on this pretty quick. It's going to move right across the expressway.
Whoa.
We're getting tremendous hail. We did get a report earlier of large hail, from these storms, and this thing's tightening up pretty quick, Andy.
Yeah, look at the hail is showing up there on the Leon River, south of 35.
Okay.
Man.
Okay, so
rainfall rates of 2 inches an hour showing up over Bell County and this stuff, and very large hail still showing up. Yeah, there you go.
All right, here we go. Also, I'm getting reports of
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Take it away, Bailey.
Hey guys, we're going to be off of I-35 South in Belton. I'm going to roll down the window real quick and show you what's going on outside. We've got tons of hail coming down, pea-sized, penny-sized, nickel-sized. We were on I-35, lots of heavy hail coming down. We saw many cars pulling underneath the overpasses. That is not recommended to do. It's very dangerous. We had to get off I-35 because of how many cars were stopping and also how bad this hail is coming down. As you can see in front of me, we also have this car hiding underneath this tree right here. Probably not the safest thing to do either, but always just be careful. It seems like the hail has stopped for now. Lots of heavy rain coming down. We are heading southbound on I-35 towards Gerald for some reports of tornado damage there, so we will be keeping you updated from here, but I'm going to send it back to you guys. Hail has stopped for now. Guys, what are y'all seeing on radar? I heard y'all say briefly just moments ago that y'all saw hail coming over the Leon River, and that's kind of where it picked up from us right there on I-35 South. Andy, what are you seeing?
Thanks, Bailey. From where she is, there on I-35 south of Belton, we're beginning to see what possibly could be some rotation. Look at this right here. I know that Bruce has been watching this.
Don't put it on
Give me Max 2 real quick,
All right,
because
let's put it on. Go to Max 2.
Yep.
There you go. Same area we're talking about.
Two circulations.
You got the greens and the reds here. Now this is just south of Harker Heights, where 190-14 makes that big dip heading into Killeen. We've got another area.
Yeah, that looks like 3 rotations.
Yeah,
almost.
we got some, what looks like some rotation way out here. And the rural areas, Westphalia, well south of Westphalia, actually, that's probably closer to Zabchikville out there. Here we got what looks like some rotation. Is this what you were watching?
Yeah.
Bruce?
Yeah. It's spinning up
certainly
real
looks like
fast.
something's regenerating there. And 3 areas here. One out there on 53 south of Zabchikville. Another one over here south of Temple in the rural areas between the Bell County Expo and Academy. And then as you get back over here just to the south of Harker Heights, we're seeing what very likely could be some brand new circulation going on. Certainly you're getting hail in these storms because if you, whoa,
Yes.
sure, let's share them with me. We got hail photos from Temple coming in. Tanner Tromley of Temple. I got that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's who's responsible for these photographs. That's golf ball size hail.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Get your
Yes.
drivers out.
Oh,
Yeah. That won't buff out.
Yeah. Also, I'm getting a couple of reports from a couple of friends in Belton that are reporting marble-sized hail. One is 3 blocks west of Belton High School, and the other is just north of Christ the King Catholic Church in that HEB shopping mall in Belton as well. That's along 317. One is west 3 blocks of Belton High School. The other is just north of the HEB complex in Belton, near the Walmart, near Christ the King Catholic Church, and other complexes there. They're both reporting marble-sized hail as well. One has said it's easing up, and other is we don't have any other reports from that. So a couple of my church friends are reporting from Belton of that.
Well, 317 through Belton right there is a very busy, very tight little piece of highway there. You start adding weather like this with hail in addition, it's just best to stay off of the roads, particularly 317 going into downtown Temple. It's just, there's no reason to be out and about this evening at all. You should stay in. We have a severe thunderstorm warning still in effect. Last one issued will expire at 7:45. But they could be extended because this stuff just keeps on regenerating. We're on the vertical velocity channel of the radar here, and
All right, here it comes.
We have a
Tornado warning.
Yep.
Tornado warning.
there you go.
This is-
Coming out.
This is
For which one? There,
This is
this
for
one.
Bell
There
and
you go.
Falls County
Bells
as well.
Falls. That's that circulation right there.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
This is the one.
Yep.
We're warning for this storm. What could be some tornadic development going on over here between I-35 and Academy, basically between Bell County Expo and Academy. But this one certainly, the Doppler radar is showing redevelopment and the possible tornado indicated by Doppler radar showing up on the radars there. So our warning is stretching back towards the northeast, which takes it back through rural portions of Falls County, takes you on through Lott, Travis, and even further points on over to Wilderville and the extreme northern and eastern portions of Falls County
I'll
here.
read this, Andy, if you want me to, real quick, right off the computer.
Yeah.
The tornado warning for Bell and Falls County until 8 p.m. At 7:21, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles north of Rogers, or about 10 miles east of Temple, moving northeast now at 25. So that's the circulation we've been talking about,
Right.
the one that's there to the east, and we've got a track on it now, driving it to the northeast now at about 25 miles an hour, golf ball size hail. And again, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning effective until 8 o'clock for eastern Bell County and for Falls County, as this storm is moving towards the northeast at 25 miles an hour on the east side of Temple. About 10 miles east of Temple is where that circulation is currently located, and we're going to be tracking that again right over into Falls County.
It should be in Zapchikville right now through Barclay and Westphalia within about 20 minutes, and over to Lott and Travis at about 10 minutes until 8, and continuing to move across the extreme eastern portions of Falls County, and I would imagine eventually over into Robertson County if it keeps on that track right there. Very dangerous weather situation for us this Tuesday evening. It has been boiling up since about 2 o'clock this afternoon and showing no signs of coming to an end. We saw a little dip in the activity going on for about an hour across Bell County. It never came to a complete end, but the tornadic-like activity we were watching around Salado fell off. Now brand new rotation. And we've been watching rotation try to get going 3 or 4 different times across southern Bell County. This one was one we had been eyeballing pretty close here over the last half hour, and certainly is beginning to develop into something. Are we getting any ground truth from the Weather Service? Any shoes on the ground?
It's just I think it's all radar indicated.
Radar
it's
indicated.
mostly because it's tightening up so much, but Bell Falls and Barclay, and then I think it looks really like it's taking a beeline towards Rosebud right now.
Well, Bell Falls ought to be about right here. So, fortunately, hopefully, those folks there will miss out on that. But you've got Durango back over here, and then Chilton is just up in this area as well. So, nonetheless, you're going to be getting some very strong winds, very heavy rain, and good likelihood of hail, even if this tornadic activity doesn't come to fruition and touch down as a tornado. You're certainly going to get some wind damage across portions of eastern Bell County, eastern portions of southern Falls County, and all the way over towards the Brazos River as well. If this storm continues on its track. It's been very slow moving all evening long. We can put these tracks on there, but if these storms aren't actually moving anywhere, you just keep getting the same stuff rolling over and over and over on the same spots, which is why we're getting the flooding problems that we're having across the area right now. Let's see, what are we saying now?
We've got multiple couplets in Bell County. We've got another one west of Belton, out along the expressway, that's showing signs of rotating also. So
now they're talking about that storm we were just looking at near Seton. Tornado in progress is what they're saying. So I guess it has touched down.
Okay. Well, my chasers have a tornado down now with a storm southeast of Temple. Okay. So it's a tornado on the ground now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to that and zoom in on it. Zobzikville, that's out by Green's Sausage.
That's it.
Yeah, I remember that. You can look at my physique and know that I didn't miss any meals when I lived here 25 years ago.
Don't mention any sponsors, though. We might get our wrist slapped by corporate.
Yeah, that's right. Let's zoom this down right in here because there's active tornado now. We're getting reports from spotters. This is an active tornado. A tornado warning now till 8 o'clock. This is for extreme eastern Bell County moving into Limestone County and or Falls County, Falls County and Zobzikville. You look to be right underneath this as this circulation And there's the latest update. You can see the very strong rotation here, red to green. And let's just take a quick look at this in the reflectivity mode and pull it out just a little bit so we can see a few more cities downstream. Yeah, so here's the hail core you're seeing, and then the inflow notch, and then we get some towns on here, so we can see where this whole thing is heading. You're gonna have to pull it out a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. So we've got Falls County and Bell County, and the storm moving again. Here's Rosebud and Lots right here, Rosebud Lot. Here's the parent storm on Texas Highway 53, and a large hail core, possible. We're getting reports of a tornado now on the ground right in this area. So you've got the inflow and right in here. Now let's throw it back onto reflectivity on the same size so we can put the two together and show you this is reflectivity. This is the actual radar beam bouncing off the radar, off the raindrops and hailstones, and then we put it in wind mode, and we're going to show you the velocity that it sees the raindrops and hailstones going away and towards the radar. And the radar's just down at Granger, so the radar is not very far away, and the radar's just right down here, so it's picking it up very well. And Jordan, if you would please, you can see the large hail core on this, but let's go back into, you can see that little notch right there.
Right here?
Yeah, right there. And then let's put the velocities, pull out just a little bit more, and we can put some roads on here. There we go. And so this is the tornado warning right on the county line right now. And there's the actual signature on the radar showing Highway 53. And you can see right here, Highway 53, where it jogs. Looks like that's where the circulation's strongest, and possibly moving again towards the east, northeast at this time. When these things get going, sometimes they'll take a hard right turn and start forming and moving a little bit more east and even southeast. We did see it moving northeast, but once a tornado forms, a lot of times it'll start turning more to the right. And you can see it kind of jogging right there. And here's Burlington and Rosebud. If you're in Rosebud and Burlington, you got a little time. You can put your cars up. You can take some precautions. If you're in a mobile home, you can go visit a friend or go down to a place that's more substantial, because this is a tornado warning. And these storms have done significant damage over the last few hours, especially west of Salado tonight, where we've seen hail reports of up to grapefruit size hail, over 5-inch diameter hail out of some of these storms, which means a tremendous updraft, which becomes the tornado. So with those things said, again, we've got another warning by the National Weather Service till 8 o'clock for eastern Bell County and Falls County, as this storm is progressing through eastern Bell County now and moving into Falls County. Again, Burlington, Rosebud, and then Lots up here. Those are your references on Highway 77. So basically 53 and 77. If you're in this area out in Bell County, if you hear a roaring sound, that's a tornado you're hearing. You need to take cover. If you're in a mobile home, it's time to get out of the mobile home right away and seek shelter in a more substantial structure. Go to a friend's farm. If you got a safe room, if you've got a storm shelter, if you got something underground, it's all good. Try to utilize that tonight, because this is a actual tornado being reported by spotters. Do we have any more reports coming in, Andy?
Just it's a weak tornado just to the east of Seaton, which is going to be right there close to 53, where you've been talking about.
Right,
where you're
Seaton.
looking at it.
Okay. And
We've got a storm chaser after it, as a matter of fact.
and said it's fairly weak tornado from what he can observe. It's hard to judge the strength of a tornado until after it's done damage, because that's truly how the tornado scale is set up, from EF0 to EF5. It's all based on the damage that's left behind the tornado. So you really can't tell how strong it is basically by looking at it generally. So we're watching that rotation. It's very strong. And it is moving again towards it looks like more towards the east.
Sure does.
At about 25 miles an hour, maybe a little southeast. I mean, just watching it going south of where that big jog is on 53.
Towards Cyclone.
Cyclone, well, it's fitting.
Yeah.
Cyclone. Another great place to get barbecue. And we've got Rosebud, Burlington. It looks like Lot's going to be north of this. You may get the hail. But again, this just looks like it's turning just a little bit down to the south.
getting close to buckholes as well down
Boy,
there.
we got some heavy weather going on here.
Yeah.
You can hear it beating on the building.
That could be.
Rob,
we'll
switch
see.
over to Max 1. Take a look at the sky cam from downtown Temple. The camera is pointed towards the east. If you go to Max 1,
You can hear the hail beating on our building
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm seeing it.
It's coming down hard outside.
Yeah, I'm seeing it bounce outside of our studios
Yeah.
as well.
there
Yeah.
you go. That's downtown, and you're looking towards the east in the general direction of this storm near Seton, but it's rain wrapped, so we're almost obscured as far as being able to see anything. But well, see, now that thing is turned again. That's looking back across Santa Fe Plaza.
All right, let's go back to the radar because
There you go.
yeah. Let's zoom this out just a little bit more so I can get another perspective. And Jordan, if you get a second, if you see anything of information from the spotters, let me know. But
All right.
I want to see this
Which
move.
one? You looking for reflectivity?
Yeah, let's pull it back out a
All
little
right.
bit and get a few more streets, and let's put a track on it just so we can
Okay.
let people know downstream. Let's do an east track at about 25 miles an hour.
East track at 25?
Yeah, because I don't think it's
All right.
moving to the northeast. I think it's moving east.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and
Let's do it.
yeah, see these hail cores? I mean, this is significant hail, probably golf ball to baseball size hail. And from the inflow notch towards Burlington, Rosebud, and that's about 25 miles an hour or 30. We'll get some cities here. It says Burlington, it should be there by about 7:53 if it goes more east. If it goes more northeast, it'll be Rosebud about 7:53. So you can see just according to how this actually moves, but I can guarantee you this is large hail right along Highway 53 east of Temple, extends back down to Highway 190, and all that is progressing now over into Falls County. But it still extends well back. Let's zoom it all the way out. I want to look at those storms back on the expressway too. I want to just see if there's anything of significance on that storm, this storm right here, because look at the hail core on that storm.
We still have
north
lots
of
of hail, yeah.
Nolanville. I mean, that is tremendous. And again, that's moving over towards Lake Belton and across
Fort Hood.
Fort Hood's military base, and that's a really significant hail core there. And the severe thunderstorm warning continues till 7:45 for Bell County. So this storm is warned for a severe thunderstorm warning and is under a tornado watch. And then the storm will go back now to the eastern part of Bell County. So western Bell County, you've got a severe thunderstorm with large hail. Eastern Bell County, you've got a tornado warning, and that storm is progressing. Now, the tornado warning fell off the map. Did they drop it?
No, it's still
it's
up.
not
It's
dropped.
still-
I
it's
think
still
they
up.
got the layer
the
a little over the actual
Okay.
warning. Let me fix that
Okay,
real quick.
fix that for me if you don't mind. Okay, no, it's still significant on the circulation.
There you
Is still very significant. Ben Arnold to Rosebud to Burlington. Boy, it seems like it's moving just a little bit to the southeast.
So
That might be
Cameron
good
needs
for
to-
Rosebud. But Rosebud, you're going to get some wind and hail. But right now, we're going to keep tracking this circulation as it moves. It looks more east-southeast, but you are under a tornado warning in Rosebud right now. And again, it extends down to Burlington, just to your south, just a little bit towards Burlington. Technically, Burlington is not in the warning. Technically, it's not in the warning. But I'm just telling you, if I was in Burlington, I would be very aware of this storm taking a right-hand turn and coming towards Rosebud and then Burlington. The Weather Service originally put that warning out. It's moving northeast, and it does seem to be making a little bit of a turn now to maybe the east-southeast. Again, the tornado warning is till 8 o'clock.
If it turns, then Ben Arnold and Burlington and maybe even Cameron need to be watching for this storm.
I'm starting to see a significant hook on the radar here. I'm looking at, and it's starting to look like it's winding up a little bit. So,
I'll pull up velocity.
can you
Yeah,
put
I'm
up
gonna pull
a
that
debris ball
velocity, yeah.
on the
Let's see.
correlation coefficient?
Okay, let's
can
see
you
if we
get
can
that?
pull that up. Let's see
It
if
might
we
be a
can-
debris ball showing up now.
Oh, yeah, it's hard to tell with the way the radar is oriented right now.
Yeah, it's awfully close to Granger. It should be.
Yeah.
You can see right here. You can see this whole inflow, and you can see what's going on. Give me something. That's the debris detection. So, yeah, it could be lofting up a little bit of debris right in this area, but it's hard to tell with that. So I think staying with velocity is probably the best thing right now.
Okay.
Staying with the velocity mode and seeing where that actual couplet is, where the circulation continues. Crossing out of Bell County, yeah, there's two boxes there. Is that Is that a?
Yeah, I think that's a duplicate warning.
Is it?
I believe, yeah.
Pull
that's
it
a
back out
duplicate.
just a little bit. Pull back out.
Yeah.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. There's another one forming right there. You see that circulation? Very similar to this circulation. Look at that right there.
Yeah, that's like right along 190 just to the south and east of Rogers.
Yeah. So
Oh, by
yeah.
the way, never mind. That's just
That's
to the
right
northwest of Rogers.
Yeah,
It's right
just
on
right,
Rogers.
right on Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rogers, you're not technically in the tornado warning, but there's a second circulation that's showing up near you, just to the northwest on Highway 190, and then you've got the tornado warning, which is technically just north of you, but for this storm, that's still going. Pull it out just a little bit more, Jordan, for me.
Got it. Pulling up.
Apparently there are storm watchers out there chasing it, and they are reporting no visual.
No visual tornado now.
Right.
See, what time's sunset officially? Is it? It's about 7:50.
Yeah, about 7:56.
7:56. So we still have a little bit of daylight left. It's even though it's dark and raining. So this looks circulation is broad now. It seems very broad. Can you animate that? Let's put it in motion
All
and
right,
just see how
got
it's
it.
rotating, Jordan.
Yeah, I'm going to show it to you in just a sec. I'm
Okay.
going to set it, and then we're going to go ahead and pull it. All right, now we're ready.
There you go.
Well, it looks like we're going to be able to clear out western Bell County. Coppers Cove to Killeen looks like the rain's coming to an end.
Right.
It's all concentrated now, central and eastern Bell County.
Yeah, that
and
that
spilling over.
circulation's right over the county line, right on top of the Bell Falls County line now.
Yeah, I was about to say spreading over into Falls County now.
You got that secondary circulation now over Rogers that's significant and developing. And yeah, it's just, let's pull it all back out, and we're getting some reports. What do you got, Andy?
I've got nothing.
Okay,
Well,
we got a
Weather Service is
report.
all
Is it?
concentrating on the Dallas-Fort Worth right now.
Well, I get it.
On our own.
Well, I'd still say in Rosebud, you're under a tornado warning till 8 o'clock, and
Yeah.
the circulation's moving towards you. So
Yeah.
Rosebud, don't let your guard down. Looks like that circulation is going to come right over you.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see an uptick in all of it, because it's just about to cross the Brazos River there.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this. It's just off to the west of Interstate 77. I think it'll cross it in the next couple of minutes, and it looks like it's going to be just to the south of Rosebud. So if you're along Farm to Market Highway 1963, if you're along County Road 352 or 361, also, let's see what other roads there are. County Road 351, Farm to Market 1445, and then along and then just east of
1963, Farm to Market 1963 goes right
Yes.
into Rosebud, and that looks like where it's about to jump to on the next.
yes, on the next little scan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and also Carlson Road, which would turn into County Road 273 in, I think that's Milam County. Yeah.
Well, that-
Clarelson Road, I think that's what it's pronounced, excuse me.
in Falls County.
And if this is in Falls County, that would turn into County Road, let's see, County Road 273 in Milam County. Once it goes into Milam County, it becomes County Road 273. So yeah, here's that scan.
So here is the center of our rotation. And there's the county line. You got Milam County here, and this is Falls County here. Bell County is behind me. Your Brazos River runs about right through here. There's Rosebud. Travis is going to be back out here. I guess it'd be more back here because there's 77. And then Lot's going to be off our screen there. To give you an idea where this is located. And the movement on this has been to the east and flirting a little bit with like a southeast turn. What you got?
Oh yes, we just received an email from our friends at KView in Austin that's saying that somebody there took a call from a man named Jim Mercer, who said that there are some friends treating tornado victims in the Salado area. So that's coming from our friends at KView, that there are some reportedly possibly some injuries in Salado. That's based on the email we received from a member of the KView news team. He's doing the digital desk management as well. So right now, as we continue to look, this is a look at our velocity. This is.
Did you hear what he said?
All right, hold on.
The KVU is reporting
Okay.
injuries being
Okay.
treated
Okay, let's
in
see.
Salado.
Okay, we're getting video from Temple. Let's see if live video from Temple. Let's see if we have anything that could be rotating. Okay, that looks like that's near Central Texas Christian School in Temple. That looks like some sort of a wall cloud there. And let's see if we could zoom in a little bit better. Let's see, maybe that could be one of those two areas of rotation. This is coming from our reporter Bailey Bates, right there at Central Texas Christian School, where it looks like we could see some of that rotation. That's along Farm to Market 93. That's near Bo's Dance Hall. That's a lot of farmland in that particular area as well. But it's starting to look like it's a little bit of rotation associated with that storm. That does look like a bit of scud in addition to that.
Okay, they're
shelf cloud
reporting
as well.
a confirmed tornado right now 8 miles north-northeast of Rogers. 8 miles north-northeast of Rogers in Bell County.
Right.
Train spotters reporting as of 7:22. No, that's an older report. No, it's 7:51. Spotter photographed the tornado southeast of Temple, so that was near Seton. But yeah, that was that's a delayed report, local
Yeah.
storm report. I'm sorry, 8 miles northeast of Rogers at 7:22 photographed a tornado.
Yeah, and so Bell is out of the tornado warning. It's now going to be continued for Falls until 8 o'clock as well. So yeah, that's with this area of rotation just to the south and west of Rosebud. It's along and just south of County Road 361, right near Farm to Market 1963. This looks like really good rotation, and we're going to try and see if we can get that looped here for you real quick to see if it's trying to make any easterly turn, which would probably take it just off to the north of Burlington there. But if you are in Rosebud, you need to make sure that you are in your safe place. Make sure you're away from windows in the lowest level of your home. Make sure that if you are in that most interior room, make sure not only that, make sure you always have a football helmet or a baseball helmet or something of that nature. Also mattresses. Make sure you cover yourself with those to protect yourself from flying debris. Additionally, you want to make sure that if you're in a mobile home, you need to get out of that mobile home immediately. You need to make sure that you have an area, a friend's house in a sturdy building you can go to get into that safe spot, because this does look like very good rotation. We're trying to see, it does look like it's radar indicated at the moment, but it could drop a tornado at any moment. These storms, again, have had a history of producing one, especially in that Salado area. You've seen all the videos, you've seen all the pictures. This has a history of producing a very strong trace. Oh, yep, next scan. It just showed it, a nice easterly turn right here. It may miss you guys, Rosebud, but I would still be in your safe place. But then this could probably take this into northern sections of Milam County. So if I'm in the Burlington area, I would get in your safe place as well, because this storm looks like it's making an easterly turn. And you see these with tornadoes, because a lot of times when you have tornadic activity, when you have that tornado, it may start to initially move northerly and then make an easterly turn as well.
You're on it, man.
Yeah, so definitely you want to pay attention to this, especially areas to the south and west of Rosebud. It's south of Highway 53 at this particular point. Looks like it's about to cross US 77 just to the south of Rosebud there. So if you are in Rosebud or even Burlington in extreme northeastern Milam County, you need to make sure that you are in your safe place, and in your safe place immediately, because this could, based on this rotation, this is very juicy rotation. This could drop a tornado at any minute, because this storm has had a history of producing very strong tornadoes just off to the west of the Salado area. We just got that report from our sister station KVU that there are injuries possibly being reported there, because tornado people are reportedly being treated for injuries in Salado. So definitely, if you have this tornado warning, you need to make sure that you are in your safe place in an interior room, away from windows. So definitely something to pay attention to there. Andy.
I want to go to velocity and swing up through this line of storms because we're seeing some increased strength in the storm back into Limestone and Freestone counties. Around Buffalo, yeah, there you go. Take a look at this. Now, this is not tornadic. We're not seeing nearly the rotation, but we are seeing what looks like some kind of rotation going on there between Mahia and Fairfield.
Yeah, there it is.
Very heavy rain, and this storm is, I'm sorry?
There it is, just to the west of Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what we're talking about here. Could be a little bit of rotation going on there. Close to Highway 164 between Buffalo and Thornton. Again, we're talking about over Limestone County here and Freestone County over here. There's I-45. For our viewers in that part of the viewing area, we have strong weather going on there, and it stretches all the way back down to the stuff that we've been looking at, and now making its way across northern Milam County and Falls County as well, into the Waco and Temple area. Getting a little bit of clearing going on across the western portions of Bell County. Let's go back to the reflectivity.
Reflectivity here? Okay.
Yeah, swing back towards the west. Skies actually beginning to clear a little bit across Lampasas County and into our western counties here. We'll have a tight look at it. Still very strong, very dangerous storm here. This is the one that we've had confirmation of a tornado out in the rural areas of Falls County, north of Rogers. Looks like it wants to turn and make its way into the adjacent portions of Milam County as well. As you head back towards the west, we've still got action going on between Salado and the Bell County Expo, and then back between Belton and Temple there. But you go further west, we start seeing clearing skies. Better conditions across Lampasas County. Still looking at cloudy conditions for Coppers Cove and Kempner. The green box is indicative of a flood warning that's in effect across Bell County until, what, 9? 9:30, 9:45,
yes,
something like that, because of the very heavy rains we've had and very poor drainage going on. Tornado warning for these storms over here in extreme southern portions of Falls County, trying to make a right-hand turn and slide down into Milam County. Now, we've had confirmation of a tornado warning on this one. Whether or not that's still on the ground, we certainly think that it is rain-wrapped at this point. It may be an improving conditions there, maybe weakening a little bit as it heads south of Rosebud, but we're certainly watching it very closely. You've got a good hail signature showing up back here on that country road that runs from near Westphalia, just south of Westphalia, comes all the way over to Rosebud. That's where we're seeing the heaviest hail core signature showing up right now, and that is inside of that tornado warning that's in effect across portions of Falls County and a tiny little bit of Limestone County and extreme northern portions of Milam County there.
Yeah, that was just issued, as a matter of fact, till 8:30.
Yeah, till 8:30 tonight. Well, let's see what the Weather Service is saying. Anything new from the guys in Fort Worth?
Well, I was looking at this flash flood warning. It shows a bullseye of about 5 inches of rain right where the expressway in Belton connects to head west. And some of that's hail contamination, but there's a bullseye of rainfall right there in central Bell County.
Well, they were saying like 2 inches per hour.
Right, and it's been going for, the new tornado warning just came out. Here we go. Milam County, there it is.
That was what I just talked about.
You were right on it. Here it is. I'll read it. It's Falls and Milam County, new tornado warning. And let's stay with that. Let's just keep going with that. You want to get in front of the wall there?
Sure, yeah. Okay. Also, we do have a couple of new severe thunderstorm warnings. It was for Bell Falls, Milam, and Robertson until 8:45, and also one for Freestone, Leon, and Limestone until extent of the storms. Now, at 7:50, it was a severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado. It was located near Rosebud, that's this system here, or 10 miles north of Cameron. This is moving east at around 30 miles an hour. So if you could click on that little cone image, and there would be a setting to where you could change it to 30 miles an hour. Could you set that and you could track it going east at 30 miles an hour? We got to see who's in the path of this, because we need to make sure that those in the path of the storm need to be taking cover. So Rosebud, just to the south of Rosebud, along US 77, you need to be in your safe spot, I mean, like right now, because we do have this system. This looks like a very strong couplet, and it could drop a tornado at any minute. This has had a history of producing damage in the Salado area. These storms have had a history of producing very strong tornadoes. So you want to make sure that you have taken the precautions. Make sure you stay in those safe places. Okay, now we're trying it. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Okay. Oh, we got. Okay. All right. So, okay, Darren Wallace is live in Salado. He's got reports of flooding as well as storm damage in Salado. So, Darren, what can you tell us, man?
Hey guys, so I'm over here off FM 2484 in Salado. I'm right near Southview Drive. As you can see, there is some storm damage here on Southview Drive. There are some neighbors who've stepped outside. The authorities, the Salado police, have just arrived on the scene. The fire department in the area has also been on the scene for about the last 20 to 25 minutes or so. Right now, this is some damage on one house. I can't tell what block this is, but video photographer Ryan Fight and I have been on the scene for about the last 20 to 25 minutes, and the damage, this is what we can see right now of the storm damage. There is some damage over towards that way, some more houses that have gotten hit by the storm. The rain has subsided. As you can see, there is no more rain, and there's a lot more visibility, but the authorities have responded to some pretty serious damage here in Salado on Southview Drive off FM 2484. So if you stay tuned, we will have more updates. We are going to walk around the area to see what additional damage there is in the area, but for now, this is what the scene is like. Jordan, we'll send it back to you guys over at the weather station.
All right, Darren, thank you. And yes, really important when we're talking about these tornado warnings, and we have a track on this tornado warned storm. This is moving east at around 30 miles an hour, so it's going to take it through the Briery area at around 8, and then Anderson School by the time we get to 8:21, and just prior to 8:30, we're looking at Spickner High School. That's in portions of northwestern Robertson County. That's along Highway 6. So stand by if you're along Highway 6, State Highway 6, just to the south of Bremond. You need to make sure that you're going to get ready to get in your safe place. If you're in the Briery area, if you're in the Baileyville area, if you're in the Salter area, make sure that you are in your safe place right now. That's lowest level of your home, interior room, as many walls between you and the outside world as possible, and make sure that you have a football helmet or mattresses to cover you. If you're in a mobile home, please, please, please leave that mobile home immediately. Find a sturdy structure, get in that interior room. You've got to make sure that you are in as an enclosed of a space in the middle of your home as you possibly can, because these tornadoes have had a history of producing some damage with power poles snapped, multiple structures damaged. This was in Salado, by the way, and possibly even reports of injuries. At least that's what we've heard from our sister station, KView. We're going to see, and if we could verify this, but this is definitely something you've got to pay attention to. Again, Briery, in the next 5 or so minutes, you need to make sure you're in your safe place. Just before 8:10, if you're in Baileyville, you need to make sure you're in your safe place as well, because this is a very dangerous situation. We do have the tornado only being radar indicated at this point, but based on the history that these storms have produced, I would not be totally shocked if this dropped a tornado. But we're going to see, because we do have a couple of other severe thunderstorm warnings as well. This one is for portions of southeastern Limestone, Freestone, and northern Leon counties. That's also until 8:45 as well. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for Robertson County, so that does include areas just to the north and west of Hearn, and that does include the Calvert area as well. So still have that tornado warning for Yeah, we've got reports of hail now. We can hear that hail outside of the studio. That's that hail core that we've been talking about. Let's see if we can pull up the reflectivity again and see what the...
County back under a severe thunderstorm warning too
Okay.
because of that.
Bell County's back under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. There's that hail core. I think that's affecting our station right now. That's showing as just along Highway 36 there, and the HK Dodge and Loop there on that west side, west of I-35, headed up towards 53. But that's near Greenview Drive, the 205 loop. So I think just near Adams Avenue, there along just south of Highway 36 there, near Airport Road. So yeah, pretty much along Adams Avenue, just to the west of the Gober community there, along Hopi Trail, Brazos Drive, Antelope Trail, Sunflower Lane. That's where that hail core is showing up at this moment. But there it is, that hail. There it is, just shifted off to the east. So there's that hail core. Another very small hail core in far South Temple, just to the south of Forster Road there. But again, the main system, the main story we have right now is just crossing Highway 77. Look at that hail core just to the north of Burlington.
And this is also where the center of the rotation has been that we were watching on the tornado, or possible tornado, the funnel, shall we call it. Here is our vertical velocity, once again showing you where the winds are and the contrast of the winds. And it is right there. You see the reds and the greens. You're south of the county line there, just to the east of Burlington as well. Very heavy rains coming down to that area. We have a tornado warning in effect until 8 o'clock. That's likely to be extended. Well, 8 o'clock is for the Falls County side. The 8:30 is for the Milam County side of the warning there, and that'll run until 8:30 this evening. Here's where we're seeing the rotation going on. It seems to be rather broad right now. Eyewitnesses are not giving us a confirmation on tornado touching down on that storm back to the east of Highway 77. This is farmland. We're very rural area portions of northern Cameron County, or northern Milam County, and the extreme southern and eastern portions of Falls County there. You are west of the Brazos River, but not by a whole lot. The river itself is pretty close right in this area here. So we still have a very volatile weather situation going on. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Bell County because of a new round of hail that's coming down, a lot of lightning and very heavy rain. We have a tornado warning for a storm that has moved out of Bell County, kind of zipped across the southern portions of Falls County, now right on the Falls and Milam County line, just to the east of Highway 77. This would be Burlington here, and Rosebud would be just to the north of you there as the road begins to make its turn. And you're well north of Cameron. All this activity we think is going to continue pushing off towards the east and southeast. Forward motion on that was around 35 miles an hour the last time I looked. Is that still about right?
Yeah, it's about 30 miles an hour, yes. I'm gonna go ahead and put another track on it for you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna scroll it out just a little bit so we can get the full hour of that track in. It's about 30 miles an hour. Let's see if we can get that full hour of the track in.
Can you?
Never mind, 45 minutes, there it is. So.
Can you viewers at home hear the hail on the roof here in downtown Temple?
Yeah, we could clearly hear it.
It sounds like popcorn.
Yeah, could be about marble sized, could be ping pong sized. I'm gonna go out and take a look real quick.
All right, the tracker on this storm, which is just into northern Milam County. Salford by 8:22, Anderson School by 8:25, Spickner High School by 8:30, Calvert and Elliott probably within the next 45 minutes or so. Okay, now what do we got, Crystal?
Yeah, so
okay.
I just looked outside. It looks kind of like marble to pea-sized hail somewhere along that range.
You didn't bring any back for the rest of us?
I haven't brought any back. I gotta get my umbrella real quick and see if I can grab it real quick for you.
Okay, we'll wait for you.
All right, you got it.
Tornado warning in effect for the northern portions of Milam County for a storm that is just inside the county line. They're just to the south of Rosebud is where we're seeing this, and that's where the county line is. You're looking at rotation that's probably covering Highway 77 here on the Milam side of the county line, and the track on this we feel like is going to be towards the east at around 30 miles an hour. It's a very dangerous storm. You need to take cover immediately. Even if you're out in these rural areas, there's a lot of debris flying around. You don't want to be out on the road. Stay in and stay away from windows. Get to a lower room of your house. If you've got a storm cellar or a basement, they're kind of rare in this part of the state, but if you have one, that's where you need to be. If you don't, you've heard us preach about where to go, bathrooms, lots of support around you. Get to someplace safe, because this is a very dangerous situation. Even if it's not on the ground right now, it could be very shortly. So we're trying to keep you safe here with this storm that's been producing very large hail, very heavy downpours of rain, and some very strong gusty winds. I hear people talking behind me. All right, well, let's take a look outside the studios here in downtown Temple of the hail coming down to the very heavy rains. That's our parking lot. This would be the building that you're looking at is the public library in downtown Temple. The street there is 3rd Street, and that's our parking lot. Look at that. Look at the rain coming down. Every once in a while you see a little bit of hail still popping up. I don't see a lot of dimples on any of the vehicles outside the studios here, so it looks like we've dodged a lot of hail damage so far today. But you can certainly see the water running in the streets. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The streets don't drain as rapidly as we'd like them to be when the rain comes down this hard. It overpowers the drainage systems that we got across Central Texas and Temple and the other communities of Central Texas as well. So a very wet night for us. We've been looking at maybe as much as 5 inches of rain in and around Temple. We've had tornadic activity that rolled in from the west into Salado. We're getting reports of damages there and possibly even some injuries that are being treated at this point. We've had a tornado warning in effect for Bell County. We're under severe thunderstorm warning right now for the storm that is in progress. And we have other portions of Central Texas also covered by severe thunderstorm warnings that stretch on up through the Marlin area to Mejia and Groesbeck into Corsicana and then across I-45 and including Buffalo and Centerville and Leon County as well as we watch these storms. Zoom out a little bit. This is where the big action is. These are the worst of the storms right now in our area occurring southeast of Temple, back over across the northern portions of Milam County, north of Cameron so far. Cross your fingers that it stays that way. This stuff is going to continue back in much of basically a rural area. Another severe thunderstorm warning back over here across portions of Freestone and Leon counties. There's Buffalo. Centerville is just outside of that watch box, but nonetheless, very heavy rain and hail also being embedded in some of this stuff as well.
Yes, Andy, we're getting a report that's preliminary from Dirk McGowan, one of the spotters there. There were multiple power flashes that were reported in just 4 miles southwest of Rosebud. So that would be this cell right here that's showing that we've had multiple reports of power flashes 1 mile south, but they were unable to tell if it was a tornado or if it was straight line wind damage.
Well, let's say wind damage for the time being.
Yes.
We can certainly be on the safe side by saying that. Mindful that you're probably going to have power outages across portions of our area, particularly across southern portions of Falls County and into Milam County, where this present storm is located. Still indicating circulation. That doesn't necessarily mean tornado on the ground, but certainly circulation is showing up on the velocity channel of our Doppler radar here. Latest sweep brings it a little further towards the east. Again, fortunately, it's a very rural area, but You folks that live in the northern portions of Milam County can expect deteriorating weather conditions very rapidly. Out to the west, things are improving a bit, but to the east is where all the action is tonight.
Yeah, and we also have a report of golf ball size hail in East Temple. That's at 383. The HQ, I think that's at 383 and Highway 36 of golf ball size hail.
I had a call just a moment ago from Matt McCrae out in the Little River area. And
Yeah.
he said they had another round of golf ball size hail that just went through there. So multiple rounds of hail across several of these communities tonight, and still going on. And
Yeah.
we saw this tornado warning in effect going on into Milam County now.
Yeah, I got another report from my friend in
Bruce, turn your mic on, please.
Yes.
Wildflower Country Club on west of I-35 on the south side of Temple. My friend there reporting a second round of large hail at her place as well, with very heavy rains. I think she recorded as much as 4 inches of rain so far there at the country club. Let's see.
So it's just a continuation of severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30. And also Falls and Milam County is saying that with this tornado warning, heavy rainfall could hide it. So take cover, do not try to view it as well. That's what we're seeing from the latest tornado warning with that storm. It's near the Fort Hood radar in Granger. That's just off to the north and east of it. So for instance, Granger is right about here in Williamson County, and this is a good distance away, but we're seeing quite a bit of what looks like some rotation. I'm not sure if it's trying to, yeah, we're seeing a little bit of purple. That's a little bit of interference with radar beams and that kind of thing. But I would treat it as if there was still rotation associated with it. This tornado warning is until 8:30, but this storm, okay, there it is, the tornado warning. Yep, Falls County has been dropped from the tornado warning. The new one is in effect for just Milam until 8:30. So they have dropped Falls from this tornado warning. So Rosebud, you're clear at this time. Lot, you are clear. But if you are in northeastern Milam County, I would still make sure that you are in your safe place, and also stand by if you're just northwest of Hearn in Robertson County along Texas Highway 6. That does look like it's trying to get its act together rotation-wise. We are seeing some slight issues with that radar beam, so we can't really see for sure. But what we can tell you is that there's quite a bit of rotation, and we're going to try and pull the reflectivity back up so I can show you. Yeah, there's a nice little kink right about there. And if we can show you, there's a very strong hail core behind it as well, just off to the east of Highway 77. There you see it, that light pink. That is an indication of very, very large hail as well. We've already seen a report of 5.5-inch diameter hail reported in Salado. Now, for reference, it's about the size, bigger than a grapefruit, so it's about this size. So it's like you know those mini basketballs you see at Walmart? It was kind of around a little bit smaller than that. So that kind of puts in perspective how big that hail is. Yep, this is what we're talking about. Yeah, that's a really large hailstone. This was in Salado, exactly. From earlier, we showed you this picture earlier, and it was about of the size of about a bit larger than a grapefruit, I would say. And I think the longest edge all the way to, all right, so we're gonna take you to Salado. Darren Wallace is live there because he's got some serious storm damage. Darren, how you holding up? What's going on over there? So let's.
Hey Jordan, right now we're still in Salado. We're off South Shore Drive, near Southview Drive. As you can see behind me, there's an entire house that's been torn through. It doesn't appear that the house was finished. It appears that they were in the middle of building it, but that house completely destroyed. Over to the left of me, you can't quite see it. My video photographer Ryan Fight, he had to go get some batteries. If you give me a moment, I can actually zoom in on the damage. If you just take a look at that house right there. It is completely torn through. As you can see, some folks are outside taking care of it, and it seems that they are okay. I haven't heard or any reports of any injuries. I have asked everyone out here if they are okay. There are no injuries reported. If you look over to the right, you can see this garage is pretty torn through. There is a car inside. The car does appear to be unharmed, but this garage is pretty destroyed over there. If you look over more to the right, just some flooding, but just really a ton of debris over to the right. But back over to the damage, I mean, even aside from the house, just look at all the debris and things of that nature. Over to the left of the house that was really hardly hit, that entire roof appears to have come off, if you can see it, and then just some general debris below it. And people are already out here trying to clean it up, or just trying to make sense of what they've seen. If you look over at this tannish looking house right here, some more roof damage. This looks like a finished home, and the house to the left looks finished. You can see pretty much all the way through almost this home right here in front of me. So as you can see here in Salado, a lot of homes, or a few homes, have been damaged over off South Shore Drive near Southview Drive in this neighborhood. Some people are already outside trying to take care of it. We will keep you updated. There is some flooding around, and we will update you if anything changes. We'll send it back to you, Jordan.
Yes, thank you, Darren. And I'm looking at this. We're seeing this nice little kink right here in extreme northeastern Milam County. It's about to cross into Robertson County, but I'm here to tell you right now, if you are in Calvert or Hearn, even along Highway 6, I would get your stuff ready and get ready to go into that safe place, because this looks like some very strong rotation. I'm going to pull up the velocity for you real quick so that I can show you a little bit better what the velocity is looking like, because though, yeah, that's almost textbook. Time is now 8:14. This for Milam is expected to expire at 8:30, but I totally would not be surprised if this is extended over into northwestern Robertson County, especially along Highway 6 here, between Calvert, maybe even the Hearn area, because we've seen a couple scans, and this storm looks like it's trying to make a southeasterly turn. So if this makes a southeasterly turn, places like Calvert and Hearn would be in the line of fire. Could you scroll out, Bruce, just a little bit so we can show you everybody Hearn? Yeah, because that's where Hearn is, right about here, where Highway 6 and US 79 meet. And this looked like it was going to try and make a bit of a southeasterly turn, so areas just to the north of Hearn, places such as Calvert, may need to get ready to get in that safe spot, because I totally, based on how this rotation looks, I would not be shocked if this tornado warning is expanded into Robertson County. And that area is already under a severe thunderstorm warning as it is. So you should already be in that sturdy structure away from the windows, because wind damage can still cause damages to structures. So again, tornado warning could be extended into Robertson County based on what we're seeing right now with this rotation. But we could also see some straight line wind damage as well. Severe thunderstorm warning already includes Bremond in addition to Calvert along Texas Highway 6. I would expect within the next few minutes it starts making its move across into Robertson County and could affect places such as Calvert, as well as areas just off to the north of Hearn. So something to pay attention to there.
Let's switch over to the Max 1 real quick if we can, Rob. There we go. New red box here. That means we have a new tornado watch in effect. It does not include Waco or Temple, but it does include Centerville and back down towards Cameron as well. This will be under the gun until 2 o'clock in the morning. We're talking about East Texas and the adjacent portions of Louisiana as this storm complex slowly works its way back through East Texas and into Louisiana into the late hours of the evening, early morning hours of the morning. Jordan, can we zoom in on this stuff? We'll go back down here to.
We also have a new tornado warning. It's coming for Robertson County.
Yeah, that's
as well.
what I was hoping we could zoom in on. Let me go. to my little machine over here. Oh, you got it. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the
that
one.
looks-
Brand new tornado warning for this storm right here. You see several hail cores in this. This is the same storm we've been watching here for the last 20 minutes or so. We started seeing some new rotation on that. It is. It has a history of producing a tornado earlier. It looks like it's trying to regenerate and drop down another funnel. We do not have any confirmation of that just yet, but we certainly have Doppler indication of just about all the characteristics of a tornado in this storm. It is approaching Highway 6. There's forgot where I was. Highway 6 here. Here's where the rotation is. Here's where our storm is located between Rosebud and Burlington, back over on Highway 77 here between Rosebud and Burlington. The storm is moving over here towards Highway 6, north of Calvert, very close to that area. You're going to start seeing some very strong gusty winds if you haven't already seen the storm winds making their way through, and very likely you're going to start seeing some hail. Now, the hail normally is going to be on the backside of that storm, but nonetheless, these storms that we've been watching tonight, even if there's not a circulation going on that's touching the ground, we're probably going to get hail out of this storm, and certainly with this hail core showing up. And watch for the little pink right there as it makes its way towards the Brazos River. A lot of times these storms, I've watched them come across water bodies like that, and they want to increase in intensity. Whether they're breeding, picking up moisture off the river or the lakes is still not completely clear. There's not been a lot of research on that, but it certainly shows storm intensification. So if that's the case, this storm making its way over into Robertson County is going to be packing a punch, just like they have been throughout much of the rest of the evening tonight. So very heavy rains in progress. We've seen as much as 4, 5, 6 inches of rain across portions of central Texas with these storms that have moved out of the Texas Hill Country and into our area and have been sitting here across Falls, Bell, and now Milam and Robertson County for a couple of hours now before they finally make their way out. Tornado warning in effect until 8:30 for portions of Milam County, and that's Cameron, to the north of Cameron, and tornado warning in effect for Robertson County. There's Franklin. There's Hearn, Calvert just up the road there. That warning in effect also until 8:30 for potential tornado. Have we gotten any confirmation from the storm chasers?
We haven't seen anything, but there's a big hook on that storm now crossing the Brazos River.
Yeah.
It's starting to form a hook.
Have we got reflectivity, velocity showing up?
Yeah, the velocity. I just put the reflectivity back on it because of that hook that's forming, but
Okay.
I'll put it on velocity for you. And
there we go.
And it's just right on top of the Brazos River Valley,
Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
Right there. You see here's the contrast in the colors. That is where we're seeing the rotation. And again, it's getting near that body of water, and a lot of times they will intensify. And this storm is likely to make its way back towards the east, around 35, 40 miles an hour. That may be a little bit fast. It may be closer to 30, but nonetheless, it is still making some forward progress, and it's moving east rather than northeast as these storms were doing earlier. And I don't even feel comfortable saying, hey, you're okay in Hearn. I feel like this storm could make even a little more easterly turn and make its way on down into the Hearn community as well, as it keeps on trekking back towards the east. Again, we have a tornado warning in effect for portions of Milam and Robertson County. We have tornado watch in effect for portions of central Texas. Our western counties have been cleared out of it, but the eastern portions are still under the gun on the tornado watch until 2 a.m. And now a new tornado watch has been issued for deep East Texas to I-45, and does include some of our eastern counties until the early morning hours as well. Tracker on the storm that we're talking about here near the Brazos River and just to the east of Highway 6 takes it towards Calvert in about 10 minutes, Elliott in about 15 to 20 minutes, making its way into the Franklin area just before 9 o'clock, Wheelock and Eaton around 9 to 9:15 or so. I would bet that Normandy, you'll probably be feeling it as well about that same time, shortly after 9 o'clock as it treks its way on over. It looks like just to the south of Marquay, and then heading on even, if it holds together, all the way over towards I-45 and Centerville. That's why we've put portions of Leon County in this brand new tornado warning that's in effect.
All right, so yes, what's up? We've got, okay, yes, we've got, we've got just that same system. There it is. It's officially now been expanded into portions of Robertson County. Now, this doesn't just include Calvert, but it includes Franklin as well. Franklin High School, as a matter of fact. If you're near there just before 9, you need to make sure that you are in your safe place. This is definitely to pay attention to. Elliott at around 8:44, Wheelock at around 9:10, and Eaton at around 9:16. That's in eastern sections of Robertson County. So this storm has had a history, these storms have had a history of producing quite a bit of damage, as you just saw with Darren Wallace. And with that storm, there was a lot of injuries with it, because you had, not necessarily a lot of injuries, but a lot of damage, I should say. Although we did get a report from our sister station, KView, that there was a possibility of injuries, but not so much so. But anyways, there is that area of rotation.
down.
That looks like starting to strengthen up a little bit. So I would not be surprised if this dropped the tornado at any moment. So you want to make sure that you are in your safe place. That is lowest level of your home, most interior room, away from windows. Make sure you have your mattresses if you have them. Make sure you cover your head with those. Also, you could look at a bicycle helmet, a baseball helmet, a football helmet as well. So something to pay attention to as well. Let's see, we have the new warning, all right. This is for Central Robertson and Northeastern Milam. That is this warning here. And that's until 9 o'clock, because this is for a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. And I would, based on this area of rotation, I would totally 100% agree. And this is located 8 miles to the west of Calvert, which is right along here on Highway 6, and it's moving east at 30 miles an hour. So, based on that, this is the track, and we have around 8:53 for Franklin High School and Franklin proper just prior to 9 p.m. tonight. And then just after 9:15, we're looking at the Eaton area that could be seeing this tornadic cell make its way through. Now, for tornadoes as well as golf ball sized hail, so you want to make sure that you're in your interior room, away from windows. Make sure you have as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. And there you see another scan. It's almost right on top of Calvert as we speak. So if you're in the Calvert area, you need to be in your safe place now. Turn off the TV, turn on the 6 News app. We have a live stream going on there, and watch it as you go into your safe place. Also, if you see any reports of damage from earlier storms, there is a feature on our app called the Near Me feature. So if you click on it, you take a photo or video, send us a little bit of information, just upload it, and once you see the success screen start to pop on up, then your story has reached us. Now, for this tornado warning, doesn't look like Hearn proper is involved. So I do think this storm is going to miss Hearn a little bit off to the north. But Franklin, if you're in Franklin along US 79, anyone along US 79 needs to make sure that they are in their safe place at this particular time. There's that area of rotation again. That looks like some very strong couplet there. So it's starting to try and get its act together here. But you've got some of those greens, and then you've got those reds as well. So when you see those together, that does show quite a bit of rotation there, and it's almost on top of the Calvert area. So if you're in the Calvert area, you need to make sure that you are in your safe place, because this could be a tornado that could be dropping from this supercell at this very moment. But also you've got the threat of golf ball size hail and those damaging winds as well. And we have seen reports, we've had storms that have had history of damage. Look at what Darren Wallace showed you in Salado a little bit ago, where you had all of that damage associated with what looked like more than likely a very strong strength. And speaking of Salado damage, we have some pictures now that we're going to be able to show you real quick if we can pull those up. Yep, this is from Emily Evat in Salado. Man, look at that. That is, whoo, man. I just tell you, that is some real damage right there, because that kind of tells you why we tell you to make sure you're in that interior home and that lower level of your house. So thank you, Emily, for sharing that with us. But yes, so that kind of is case in point as to why we tell you to get into that interior level of your house. You have to make sure that you have as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. Also, make sure that you have a bicycle helmet. If you have that, wear that. A football helmet, a baseball helmet, as well as mattresses. They work too. You need to make sure that you have your head covered, especially when you have these strong tornadoes like what we more than likely may have seen in Salado earlier this evening. And there you see that rotation. It's just on top of you guys in Calvert. So if you're in Calvert, you need to be in your safe place. And it looks like this tornadic storm, the tornadic portion of it, I should say, has just crossed the Brazos, and it appears to be leaving Milam County. So Milam County, I will go ahead and I would say give you the all clear, but the warning has not officially been dropped for you guys just yet. The warning is until 8:30. It is 8:28. So maybe go ahead and come out of your safe place if you're in Milam County. But right now the tornado warning isn't over. Yes, sir? Oh, so they have expired the tornado warning for Milam County. So Milam County, you are all clear for the evening with this particular storm. Now let's zooming into Calvert right now. This is just off to the north of Calvert is where you're seeing that rotation couplet. It looks somewhat broad, which is good news in that sense. It's not really that tight of a couplet, but still a good area of rotation and good enough for the National Weather Service in Fort Worth to issue this tornado warning as well. So there's downtown Calvert right here. Areas just off to the north. But let's see if we can scroll up just a little bit and try and zoom down on some roads where we have some of that tightest rotation, if we can.
You're saying it's about a mile.
It's about a mile. Yeah, it's just a mile north of Calvert is where we're seeing that rotation. So
Yeah.
it probably might have just missed Calvert there, but it's moving straight. And I think based on this, it's looking like Franklin. You know, you guys could be seeing it within the next, say, 15 to 20 minutes. So if I'm in Franklin, I'm getting ready right now to get into your safe spot. If you are in the Franklin area, again, central Robertson County, you need to make sure that you are in your safe spot if you are in the Franklin area, because this is what's looking like a tornadic storm starting to form, but this is a broad area of rotation. And that's the good news here. Now, with this storm, with these storms that we've seen tonight, they have had a history of producing quite a bit of damage. You saw that picture a couple minutes ago. You saw the pictures and the video that we saw from Darren just a few minutes ago as well. And that's created these storms have created quite a bit of damage. There were reports from our sister station KVU of possible injuries in the Salado area, but we need to make sure that we independently verify those first before we can officially report those. But again, this is only preliminary. This is coming from our sister station. We don't have any reports from the National Weather Service at this time of that, but that's something that, you know, is definitely could be possible, especially with damage like what we saw in the Salado area. But back on this storm, this is just now looking like it's passing just to the northeast of Calvert as well. We've got another scan coming. Yep, looks like it's just past the Calvert area right there. Still a broad area of rotation. We don't have any confirmation of a tornado. This is still radar indicated because, and I totally agree, because you've got quite a bit of that rotation associated with this storm. It's just passed to the east of Highway 6, and that's where we're starting to see it start to make its way closer to the Franklin area. Now this is in effect until 9, and now we've got a track coming up on it. Now another track, Bruce looks like it's making another track here. It's around 51 minutes, and updated times we have Franklin proper right at 9 o'clock and Eaton at around 9:20, but right before 9 o'clock, looking at Franklin High School, where we could be seeing that supercell make its way through, and it could drop a tornado. It's capable of producing one, and based on the history of these storms that we've seen tonight, I would not be surprised if a tornado was dropped from this.
All right, well, that's good information, Jordan, and you've done a great job of covering this and staying with this storm. We've got two storms now moving almost parallel, and we're going to put back the reflectivity on here and show you there's a second storm now coming through Bell County now, eastern Bell County. Actually, two supercell storms back to back. I want to show you this second storm coming in. It's loaded with hail, and it's under a severe thunderstorm warning currently, and that continues till 8:45 for this secondary storm that's now moving across Highway 77. It's coming out of eastern Bell County. You know, it's just a second wave after the first wave, and we're going to back this out a little bit further and give you a perspective of these two supercell storms in parallel, the one having the tornado warning on it now over in Robertson County and moving through Calvert and then moving over towards Franklin. That storm is under a tornado warning until 9 o'clock. And the secondary storm, again, coming to Rosebud, once again, this storm loaded with hail, again, moving towards the east. The good news is Temple and parts to the west over to Killeen and Harker Heights and Coppers Cove, it's quieted down greatly, and but we still have this very powerful storm now in Falls County, extending right into extreme eastern Bell County, and then into northern Milam County, moving along again from Rosebud down towards Burlington once again. Should stay just north of Cameron. Cameron, you go outside, you can get quite a light show tonight looking north or northeastward. You can see nothing but lightning. And you want to put the lightning on this real quick?
Right.
We can show you how much lightning is going on with these storms also tonight. It's just frequent lightning through these storms. Indications of how much glaciation is going on in the storm or large hail. Lightning is one of those factors that comes from that. And again, this one storm now moving through northern Robertson County is under a tornado warning until 9 o'clock. This will continue to move across Highway 6 actually at Calvert, just north of Calvert, and moving through and then moving towards the east at about 25 to 30 miles an hour, and pretty much a straight easterly direction it seems like tonight on this tornadic storm. And then this secondary storm finally leaving Bell County, just about finished, and then into Falls County. So on a bigger perspective, we've really got the two biggest storms anywhere in central Texas right in our viewing area tonight, and we'll pull it back out quite a bit, and you'll see that things have quieted down to our north this evening, and everything has shifted well over to Palestine, and then on up towards Tyler, and all that's moving eastward across into that new tornado watch area. Again, we have the flash flood warning here in Bell County till 9:45, because we've had areas of up to about 5 inches of rain, some hail contamination in that, but again, a lot of water came down tonight, and these two storms we're still tracking simultaneously through Calvert and through, again, Robertson County, staying north of the Brazos, just crossing the Brazos River earlier and staying north of Brazos County tonight as this progresses on toward Leon County eventually. So we're still tracking this one. It's still a tornado warning. Let's go ahead and zoom back into the tornado warning now, Jordan. So, and then we'll take some of this lightning off, because really with the lightning, it's hard to see what's really going on there. There's so much of it, but a frequent lightning show going on. Franklin, you definitely need to be taking your tornado precautions. You've got about 20 minutes before this gets there. It's been a rotating storm for quite a while. Here is the center of rotation showing up now, moving again northeast of Calvert, heading towards Franklin. And so it's coming pretty quickly, and with this you're going to experience some strong winds, large hail, possibly a tornado. And we have seen reports of coming in of power line flashes earlier from this storm, which is indicating that either a straight line wind or a tornado is cutting power lines, and those flashes are what storm spotters look for after dark to know if there's a tornado on the ground. So don't let your guard down on this. You're under a tornado warning now in Robertson County till 9 p.m. and this storm is moving towards the east at 25 to 30 miles per hour. Let's take a quick look at this through the reflectivity mode again, and just see if it's any closer to see exactly. There's the second storm. There's the main storm we're watching now. It's crossed Highway 6. I'm sure they had tremendous hail go across Highway 6. You can see that core right there, all that crossed right there north of Calvert. and then that's moving again towards Franklin. Now Franklin, because this is the general area where you'll have the tornado, that's got the inflow notch here and the rotation, that's coming towards Franklin. Again, something to be very concerned with. You've got probably 15 minutes or so before it gets there, and the National Weather Service has you under a tornado warning currently in Franklin until 9 o'clock, when this will be arriving. If it weakens and they'll drop the warning, they just dropped a new warning. There it is. See, that new warning just came out as we were speaking. So we've got a new tornado warning that extends all the way over to Franklin and across Highway 79. I'll be getting that for you and reading that to you real quickly here, because that new warning's just popped up again, and they're extending the warning for this storm. They're pretty serious with the current movement of that heading towards Franklin and points beyond for Robertson County. And then there's another tornado up to the north tonight. But again, this severe weather continues tonight through Robertson County. A tornado warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. At 8:37, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Calvert is moving east now at 35 miles an hour, Andy. They're increasing the forward speed on it. Tornado and golf ball size hail are the main hazards. This is a radar indicated storm because it is dark and it's nighttime. If flying debris will be a danger to those caught outside, shelter, mobile home will be damaged and destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely tonight. This dangerous storm will be near Franklin at 8:50, is what they're saying now, at 8:50 in Franklin. So if you're out of doors or in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial structure now. Get into an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. Tornadoes are extremely difficult to see at night and confirm. Do not wait to see or hear this tornado. Take cover now. They're telling you in Franklin you've got, 10 minutes. Now they're saying around 8:50. They're increasing the forward speed on this, Andy, to 35 miles an hour now.
Hilltop Lakes is in this same area, so you folks in that neighborhood need to be taking shelter as well. Tornado tracking almost due east, and as Bruce said, about 35 mile an hour forward speed, takes it through Franklin in about 5 minutes, through Eaton, about 15 minutes from now, through North Zulch and Mecca, probably before 9:30 or so. Again, this storm, very dangerous. We don't know that it is actually touching down right now, but Doppler radar certainly would suggest that we have some tornadic winds going on there with good rotation, and we think the forward progress is probably going to be around 35 miles per hour. Let's switch over to Max 1. I want to show you the lightning that we were talking about. This is from our rooftop sky cam here in downtown Temple. Almost constant strobing of lightning going on. We're looking back towards these. These are the same storms we're talking about, the two that are lined up between Temple and Centerville. Vivid lightning continuing. The rain is finally beginning to taper off across our part of Bell County, but there are still showers going on back down along the county line as you head down into to Milam County. All right, let's go back to the Max 2 here. There you go. And this is the velocity mode showing us the winds that are moving across the area. From the Doppler radar site, we're looking for winds that are moving forward to the radar site and moving away from the radar site, and that's depicted here by the bright colors and the more mild colors. That gives us an idea where the rotation center is, and that's what's going on here just to the southwest of Franklin. This storm looks like it's going to skirt just to the south of you, but that's too close to call. Please take shelter in the Franklin area, back towards Marquay as well, and all the way over towards I-45. It's going to be a very nasty night for us. Can we switch over to the reflectivity? I want to see the rain that's falling across the region here. There we go. Thank you, Jordan. Heavy rain with a real good hail core showing up here in the rural areas between Highway 6 and Franklin, just south of the county line. Tornado warning in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. You're going for at least another 20 minutes or so. I would think it's probably going to be extended because this storm is still going to be over in the Franklin area more or less for at least another 20, 30 minutes or so. Better conditions back towards the east in the southern Bell County and into portions of Falls County as well, Robertson County here. Rain still coming down. We've gotten some moderate to heavy hail still showing up on the radar there, but better improving weather picture across much of the area west of I-35. It's east of I-35 back towards I-45 that we're concerned with right now. Big storm sitting here in the extreme northern portions of Robertson County, just to the north of Franklin, northwest, and moving towards the east at around 35 to 40 miles an hour. Has a history of very strong winds. This has also been a Doppler indicated tornadic storm. That doesn't mean that it's touched down. We just don't have confirmation that it has touched down, but it has been indicated by Doppler that there was some rotation going on in the storm. Very heavy rains, much 3-4 inches of rain falling across Bell County. Some spots reporting even as much as 5 inches of rain, but as Bruce indicated, a lot of those indications on Doppler can be hailstone contaminated. It gives us a false reading, in other words. Let's pull out on this. Now, let me show you just the scope of the rain event that's going on here right now. We're still tracking these two storms between Temple and Centerville, basically close to Franklin and Robertson County right now. We've got other storms going on the other side of I-45 moving out of our viewing area. So really, the only ones that we're really concerned with right now are these storms here. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Falls County and Milam County, and a tornado warning in effect for Robertson County, this storm right here. Again, let's put the tracker on it for those folks who may not have been with us, where we anticipate this storm to go. Moving towards the east at 35 miles an hour. This is going to make its way towards Eaton and Wealthy within the next 15 to 20 minutes. So yeah, show me that weather camera. Yeah. That was what we were showing a couple of minutes ago from the Skycam and pointing out towards the east. It's almost like a, yeah. So,
oh, yeah, that is a light show right there.
That was what we were showing a couple of minutes ago. On Max 1. But yeah, this is live. This is live. I mean, it's constant lightning from two storms. This one and then the smaller one just behind it, between this one and Temple. It's constant lightning going on there. It's a heck of a light show going on. We've had some reports of power flashes. Could be wind damage. It could be debris falling on power lines, but we've had some flashes of power lines that would suggest that there may be some power outages in the area between Temple and back over towards I-45. That's the area where these storms have been tracking. So that's where we stand on that right now. Very heavy rains. Flood warning remains in effect for probably about another half hour for Bell County because of 3-4 inches, maybe 5 inches of rain that have fallen across Bell County, the Temple and Salado area particularly. The rainfall total, I think, are going to taper off the further west you go back towards Colleen and even towards Copper Cove, but still amazing rainfall totals have been falling across that portion of Bell County as well. This is the main storm that we're concerned with, and as Jordan has told you, please take every safety precaution you can right now. Seek shelter. Put that emergency plan that you've got into motion and get yourself and your family, all your loved ones into safety, because this is a very dangerous storm. Center of it seems to be making its way right towards Highway 79 now. 79 is the one that runs from just north of Hearn and stretches all the way back up into northeast Texas, going through Franklin. Well, right now, what looks like the dry air end slot is just to the south of Franklin, so that would be like the center of whatever rotation may be going on with that storm right there in that area. And again, the cone, the path that we are forecasting takes it back through the Trinity River Valley and on over towards I-45, probably in the next half hour to 45 minutes or so. New development going on with the storm on the latest scan showing up across the area back towards the Brazos River, back to the west of Calvert, and just to the west of Highway 6 there. So more rain and more storms pushing into Robertson County even as we speak right now. So it's going to be a very bumpy ride for at least another hour or so across the region. Bruce?
Well, we're continuing to track this storm again right across central parts of Robertson County, now moving towards Franklin. It's eventually going to move into Leon County as it moves towards the east at 35 miles an hour, picking up a little forward motion, but we are continuing to see that broad rotation, and the Weather Service is monitoring that. They did put out a bulletin saying that the rotation had broadened, which is a good thing, but that means it's not as tightly wound or circulating as tightly. But the warning is still being allowed to continue until 9 o'clock because it is dark and it's out there getting into some of the, eventually going to get into some pine trees over there. It's heading east on those beautiful oak forests out there, but there's a lot of beautiful ranch country in Robertson County. But these storms are powerful tonight, and frequent lightning, heavy rain, hail. We've seen a little bit all of it tonight, and we're still under a flash flood warning here in Bell County until 9:45, so that's for almost another hour due to the heavy rain. We've already seen 5 inches approximately through central Bell County, and right now we're tracking what looks to be still a tornado possibly doing damage. Right now we have no reports from spotters. It's dark, there's lots of trees, and the sun's been down almost an hour now, so the amount of lightning you see in the sky is just incredible tonight. We're going to go over to the reflectivity mode real quickly, and I'll step in here and we're going to zoom it out because there's another storm that's just moved over the Rosebud Lot area again, producing hail. You can see that secondary storm now crossing again back into Milam County along Highway 77. This storm is, again, got a tremendous hail core in it and moving towards the east. And we're going to track this storm again for you as it moves over areas that have already seen tremendous weather tonight. Again, strong indications of hail with these. Now, we did get some reports of hailstones over 5 inches in diameter tonight in the Salado area of Bell County. When that tornado was it was on the ground, it was throwing hail out of it, anywhere from baseball to, let's say, softball or even grapefruit size hail tonight. So quite a bit of hail damage has occurred in Bell County tonight. Some of that hail damage is extended into Falls County, Milam County, and over into Robertson County. We're going to pull this whole thing out and show you a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued by the Weather Service for the entire area till 9:45 of Falls County, northern Milam County, Robertson County, and that's extending again until 9:45 tonight. This whole region is under a severe thunderstorm warning because these 2 storms are left over. You can see everything kind of cleared out back from McLennan County to Bell County and over towards Gatesville and Coryell County. Everything is quieted down. You can even see a break in the clouds clearing out of there. The big shield of clouds is starting to pull out, and eventually this whole system will move on out, and we'll get get a break from the weather, I think, in the next few hours. Already getting it now in Bell County, starting to clear out towards Killeen and Gatesville, but Marlin's still seeing some lightning down to the south. And these storms are still under this tornado warning tonight. And that big storm that has just entering the Franklin area. Now we're going to zoom back into Franklin because you're the one with the most concern right now. You are under a tornado warning, and that's till 9 o'clock. So for the next 10 minutes, the storm is right over Franklin, large hail, and now they're extending this tornado warning a little bit. They're actually dropping some of the tornado warning, I think, behind it. But here's the main core of the storm. You've got the inflow notch right along Highway 79 from Franklin southward. It looks like that's where the heaviest rotation is. Here's your hail core to the north. This whole supercell is moving again to the east at 35 miles per hour. and is possibly on the ground. We don't know if it's on the ground because of the darkness. There were some reports from storm spotters earlier of seeing lightning flashes when the storm was over in Falls County, and so that gives us some indications that it may be on the ground at times, taking down power lines and poles. You still see it's got fairly strong indication of a hook on it, and this hail core is very heavy right here. So between the two, these indications means this is a very dangerous storm, and right in Franklin now, the inflow coming in. So if you're in Franklin, 10 miles north or south of Franklin, you need to be taking cover. If you are east of Franklin, you have time to get out of mobile homes, get to stronger structures, go to a friend's ranch or a more substantial church structure, but don't stay in mobile homes in this situation, because it doesn't take but a very weak tornado to completely destroy a mobile home. And we haven't had any reports of fatalities out of all these storms tonight so far. Very little injuries being reported so far. And that's all great news. That's what we want to hear, and we don't want to have that change from this late night storm. As tornadoes happen at night, it becomes more dangerous because you don't really know they're on you until you hear them, so you don't have as much time to prepare. So this storm is now moving off of Franklin. You can see the circulation has progressed just right off of Franklin. Probably still very stormy in Franklin, but the broader circulation in the center of the circulation has now just passed to your east of Highway 79, and will continue to move over towards Leon County. The tornado warning does continue for another 8 minutes or so for your area. And again, if you're east of Franklin, this is where you want to take your tornado precautions right now. Don't wait for to hear the storm. Just go ahead and take cover and know that you're under a tornado warning for the next 10 minutes. At 9 o'clock, the Weather Service will either drop this or extend it over into Leon County, and then they'll give us another trajectory on what they're seeing with this. The National Weather Service in Fort Worth monitoring this very closely using our radar out of Granger and also the radar out of Spinks Field in southern Tarrant County. They take those two radars and look at these storms and kind of track what's going on inside of them. Let's broaden this out one more time, Jordan. Jordan's got to get some sleep. You got to be back here at like 3:30 in the morning, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, we got to let Jordan get home and get some sleep, because he has to do the morning weather. It starts at 4:30, so no sleep for the weary, no rest for the weary there, Jordan. Thank you very much. And throw this onto velocity mode real quick for me, and we'll track this right on to 9 o'clock.
I have velocity on it right now.
Okay, let's go to reflectivity, because I want to show that second storm behind it, because it was producing some hail. And yeah, these are our two storms we're tracking. And
the good news is the Weather Service is saying they're going to let that warning, tornado warning, expire at 9.
Okay.
They're talking about the rotation being extremely broad, even though that hail core is showing up there. I don't know. I'm not going to argue with them.
No, I mean they have, they have a great expertise too, and they're letting people know tonight. This is they don't want to overwarn people, but again, we're telling you, you're under a tornado watch and you're under a tornado warning here in Franklin. It's just passing through Franklin, moving east, and this secondary storm back here still got plenty of teeth to it. Look at the hail core we're seeing now in northern Milam County. It looks very strong. Again, it's two storms like almost passing over the exact same real estate tonight. Andy, you know this real estate better than I do. You've ridden a horse across most of it. And
I'm surprised you remember your geography so well. If you're wondering who this guy is, he was my predecessor here at 6. He was a chief meteorologist during the Gerald tornado.
25 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah, and I had hair back then, and I was maybe 50 pounds lighter, but I came back in here to fill in for a few days over the Easter holidays to help you guys out. And I'll be here on Thursday, Friday, and Monday mornings doing the weather, so Jordan can have some time off for Easter. And we're just going to be tracking these storms tonight. So I just happened to be here tonight to help out. It was it's an honor to get to help out with you guys. And
let me tell you,
get to learn the system.
It was wonderful when I heard the tap at the door and these storms are coming on, and I saw you. I said, "Oh my, get in here." Well, suit up.
These storms are still going on tonight, and there's still plenty of action going on to our east And like I said, these are following almost in identical tracks tonight towards the east at about 35 miles an hour now and heading over into East Texas. Eventually, these storms are going to go all the way over to the deep south, to Mississippi and Alabama towards morning. And they're expecting even a significant tornado outbreak in the mid-south after these exit Texas overnight. So we've still got to deal with these, especially in Robertson County. And then you're going to have that second storm crossing the Brazos River. Here's your Brazos River right here, and you've got this secondary storm coming basically right over the same real estate. So if you're in Calvert, you're going to get hit with a second storm with large hail. If you didn't have your car put up the first time, you might find some shelter the second. But it looks like this second storm, Andy's going to head right to Calvert.
Yeah, and I might add that you want to mark this date down on your calendar because you're going to need it when you start talking to your insurance agents here in the next couple of days or so for roof damage or for auto damage because of the hail as well.
Yeah, 4/12/22.
There you go.
And just remember that because when they ask you, well, what day did that? Why is your roof leaking? And then you'll be calling Andy and saying, Andy, what day was that?
That's why I say write it down now because I'll start getting bombarded with phone calls in about a month. When was it we had all that hail damage?
Yeah, so it was April 12th, 2022.
But you know,
and Bell County's been hit by the worst part of it.
This is twice in 2 weeks. We got hit Monday of last week and now Tuesday of this week. Different parts of the area, but still, the stuff last week, Bruce, was way out, mostly across our western counties. This time around, it's sitting right down here in the Brazos Valley.
Yeah, I mean, Temple, Bell County's had it worse than anywhere.
Yeah,
it truly has. And now this going on now through Robertson County, coming back into Robertson County, and moving on to the east now in Leon County. And these storms are progressing now. It's almost 9 o'clock. I think they're going to maybe drop this warning, but we'll see.
Yeah, and at that point, we need to make some money. We got to sell some commercials, and we will be going back with the network programming here. We'll have a complete rundown of what's going on with all these storms coming up tonight at 10 o'clock and what the forecast is. But for the time being, we've got 2 storms that are in progress that Bruce has been telling you about. They both have very impressive hail cores in them. It's kind of surprising that they're going to drop the severe weather warnings for them. That was 15 minutes ago. They may replace that with a severe thunderstorm warning. Nonetheless, we will let our coverage come to an end here very shortly and go back to network as these storms are moving away from the I-35 corridor. They've weakened considerably, still packing a little bit of a punch, so please be mindful that you're not out of the woods completely yet for the area between, say, Highway 77 and back towards I-45, particularly across Robertson County where these storms are still going in progress across the region right now. 4 or 5 inches of rain today. We have seen hail to the sizes of 5 inches in diameter. We've seen wind damage. We've seen tornadic damage in and around Salado as well. A number of injuries. We'll have a complete rundown coming up tonight at 10. Stay tuned. 6 News. We will keep you ahead of the storm.
To celebrate Kate and Philip.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Kevin is having a secret wedding weekend romance. Who do you think he slept with last night? I just can't wait for your father to get here.
Dad hasn't been with us for a while, remember?
Why would you say that?